My name is Alberto Hernandez, and I am the owner of the Dreaming House in Teotihuacan. Well, I remember very much that my grandmother, for many years, she was working a lot like the doctor of the village and the area in the valley of Teotihuacan. She was the midwife and healer, and she was help everybody who was existed around Teotihuacan, thanks to her knowledge of and the way of life of healing. And also after years, my mother is still in life. She's still in life. She get a lot of information from her, thanks to that she was very close. Even that my mother, she was not her daughter, but she learned a lot. And I think so. This kind of thing is passed to some others too. Recently, I know that my sister, she's a very good healer. She's a specialist of children. Her work is very, 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 very well, because many of the people now, they come to see her when the children are sick. She's the best at the area of healing the children in different ways. Well, I always don't say that I feel that sometimes with what I do or what I may with people, I can help in some way with healing. Sometimes it's very simple with some message and talking with them and see visions that they have in their own lives. Also the experience that they have in the back time. Sometimes I just need to connect with them, and I start talking with them in some way. I make something, but also I have experience working with different other ways, like hands work and mind works and different ways. This is something I like very much to do with the people, and this is one of my big pleasures to help the people. Well, in the very beginning, I was thinking something about. I remember very well from my grandmother. She was talking to me for many times that she wants to create a place that she can have especially visitors to see her and all her work, But my vision was to have in the beginning really have a small place for people come to stay in the area, no. But now after years, natural was appear all this kind of work we do it now. Like now I consider the Dreaming House like the healing center from Teotihuacan. And that's why I always, when people talking to me about if the place is a hotel, I never say this is a hotel. I just say this is a house or a home for everybody who comes from all over the world. But also I tell them that here they find a family that is a family work. It's not exactly that high level of service like the big chains of hotels in the world, but the big change we created here is the chain of service and service with love. That's my vision, and I love to do this work really. Well, not just the Dreaming House, but I think so. In some way, in Teotihuacan and the area of the temples and the area of the pyramids, they find their own way that they make themselves to heal that kind of part. For years they holding, and they were not happy in some way, and they find some way of change in Teotihuacan with the temples, and thanks to that, we can say we are a little part of that process that they have in Teotihuacan, and thanks to all this process is. They have these results that the people coming back, and they also connect with those who are the teachers who come to teaching them with their own tools. They make the difference, They make to really find themselves, and one of the main things that they beginning change in themselves is many people, they don't believe that in them, and many people, they don't love them. First thing that people, I believe, is they find that way. They love themselves and they continue working in the process. And the future, after like a few months, a few years after, they recognize that how wonderful was the experience in Teotihuacan. Well, I believe very much that what they find in Teotihuacan, all of the people who come, one of the main things is very natural, very, very natural. When you go to Teotihuacan and make your process, one of the most important thing is that Teotihuacan make to open their own hearts in a different way, and they are different vision. And some way also, people come with a very big damage on the hearts, for different reasons. But I believe very much when they start making the process, Teotihuacan open this wonderful creation of energy, of power of energy on Teotihuacan, make to change themselves in a different way of heart. But the connection of the heart is not just that part, it's the connection to brain, heart, and more of that connected to the wonderful reason was created Teotihuacan, was created in way of love. When they open that part of them, it's easy that they project this wonderful change for themselves and them lives. And this change is not just in them. When they find this change and they take back home, they begin to change others who were around, and they share this wonderful experience of love who was past few days in Teotihuacan after they left. Well, I have to tell you that one of the very important things to touch me is that I see in 95% of the people who come to Teotihuacan and they have been passing the dreaming house, I have seen that how they really touch this energy or this process that make them to completely change. And then when they coming back the next time, they just not come alone. They come with another people who want to share the experience they have in Teotihuacan and move to all what is necessary on them. But the most important thing they touch me is all, because I see them when they arrive with I talking in my very particular vision. I see them when they arrive with a mask, and when they go back home, before they go and they get into the bus straight to the airport, they have another mask. And many of them, many percent of them, they almost feel they don't want to go back home because they really feel the change. And some way, I feel that they have that kind of thinking that what they're going to do after they left here. But I always tell them, be having a big faith that everything is going to be continue with this change you find in yourself. Well, one of the very very particular thing I have to tell about Jeremy and Stephanie is that they are completely 100%. These people work like warriors to transform the human life of many of the people who come to Teotihuacan. But even if they don't receive this kind of how you say, this kind of things that from the other people, they don't receive probably sometimes nothing, not even nothing. They still continue to be very strong warriors, try to help in conditional way, with unconditional way, to all these humans. They are in the middle of many different problems on the life. And I think so they make a very, very beautiful work. But I also believe very much there is the mission of them. I mean, they are for that mission in this world, and that's why they work in this big process of work on Teotihuacan and anywhere they go. Really, because they are. One day they are in Teotihuacan, and then 2-3 days after they are in Peru. Then after they go back to the United States, and really they don't stop working, helping a lot of people in this world. Well, the only thing I always tell many of the human beings, not just those who come to Teotihuacan and the journeys, I just pass this to friends and everywhere and family, that one of the main things we have to have in this life is faith. And no matter what happened in the life, but when we still have minutes or hours of life, we have to continue be happy and full in life with all those things who exist around you. It's very important that in these years that when the pandemic was happening, many of the humans were changing their minds, and they find a way to believe and to live. Well, I can tell you, really, it's very important that always in the life we have to have faith in God. And I don't say any religion, I just say God. God is the sacred energy from the universe, and from that universe and sacred energy came from the universe is love. We can live in love.